What's going on, guys? Jurassic here. Today we're playing Sea of Thieves. We're going over Tall Tale number 3 of the Pirates of the Caribbean DLC called Captains of the Damned. We're going to be finding all the journals in the swamp and the city, along with all of the other hidden commendations that are found during this Tall Tale. We're just going to be doing more of the obscure hidden stuff. We're not necessarily going to show like all the Tall Tale. I have videos on that already, but this is a little bit more of like a breakdown on how to find like the hardest journals and everything to find. But all 10 journals will be found from the swamp and the city in this video. So the first step is you want to take your boat all the way to the very end of the swamp. You can see there's like a little shack and this little like green portal there. And just park it here because you're going to need to use your boat later on in the Tall Tale, so you may as well just sail it through the swamp and just bite the bullet. So the first step we're going to need is the Eternal Flame. You have to have this flame in order to continue the Tall Tale anyways, so it is required, and you also have to be able to light certain torches on fire in order to actually have the Tall Tale book spawn in. So this step is essential, and that's why we went ahead and started with it. So you want to just head down this path, and you'll see like this little shipwreck here. There'll be a rock on the side here. You can hop on the rock, and then you can hop to the boat. And the flame will be behind you on the table, not that one, but if you jump across, it'll be over here on these guys' little table here, and now you have an eternal flame. Fun fact is you can actually put this flame on your boat and it'll save it. The first journal is going to be found over here near this banjo though, so you want to light the brazier on fire and turn around on the rocking chair right next to the banjo playing is going to be the journal. My picking brings me a lost soul to my porch, but none seems so strange or lost as her. She did sit with me long into the night and listen to me play. As the nights went by, the clear started to tell me more about. She talked of a man who played bayou music, music that could only clasp at your very soul. He done wronged her, and now the soul of organ music made her feel like her heart was being ripped from her chest. Book number 2 is going to be found in this little side cabin area. Now some of the flames you are going to have to light it, and then you sort of have to follow like a green fire trail. Let's go and light the torch. And then you need to look around and sort of see where the pattern is. This one, the pattern is going to be behind us. See how the tree's on fire right here? So you basically just want to follow this path here and just keep following the green fire. It's the only green fire that's going to be showing on the map. Everything else is going to be staying the red color, so that's how you know you're on the right path. It leads you to this waterway. However, if you swim all the way down, and you'll notice like a rowboat in the water with a lantern there. Book number 2 is going to be found on the rowboat itself. A merry chase I've been on. Now at the end of it, I was sure it was hopeless from the start. I went into the Sears to ask boon, which she agreed to grant if I could retrieve a lost monkey. Simple enough. For days I tracked it, the damn monkey mocking me at every turn. I'd get close only for it to chatter with glee and disappear into the mist. Eventually I managed to corner it. Suddenly there was a strange noise from the direction of the Sears shack. The little beast cocked its head on one side and bolted in that direction. Emma feared to return to her. I have heard tales of what happens to those who failed, Tiadama. Now book number 3 is going to be a little bit harder to find, but basically you're going to walk around the map and find like 2 pages of skeletons stuck here, and you have to light it on fire. That'll light the candles on fire, and you will have to shoot down one of the cages into the water. Alright, so once the chest gets cut down, it's basically just going to be right below. So you can open it up and get your 3rd book. I was right to be afeared. Her rage was like a terrible storm. I would have been better to slip away into the swamps than dare to return to her empty-handed. The fact that the damn monkey stared down at me from the rafts seemed to count for nothing. If anything, it only makes her angrier. She screamed and shouted about the importance of bargains and how people should stay true to their word. She turned away from me, reached into her pocket. Suddenly, she spun around and blew powder into my face. When I woke up, I was here. If you find my bones, heed my words. Do not cross, Tiadama. Now that is going to be it for the books in the swamp. We can actually head over to the main city now and be able to get the last 2 lost journals. Journals of the Damned. I think they're called separate things on the Tall Tale for some reason. So you want to light this fire right here on the skeleton, and it's going to cause this book to appear. The seas call to me, I hear her, even within these eerie prison walls. She whispers of new horizons and adventure to be shared. But as I stand here in line, waiting to meet all end, all I can see close to my eyes and dream of the sea. For the sunrise will be my last, and I'll ne'er see her eyes again. And this is going to be in the well. It's very easy to spot, so we're pretty much just going to skip to the end. However, once you read the book, you want to get the lockpick and swim up, and you'll be able to get to this little locked cage area. Climb up the ladder. There's going to be this little rope here you need to cut in order to jump across. It's going to hop down. Basically, only one person has to do all the jumps. You're not able to take a shortcut, unfortunately, but you have to hop down. And technically, you could have lit the fire before you did this, but both ways work. So you just drop down, open the cage door, and then light one of the torches on the wall on fire. That way you can actually get the book to spawn in. So it'll be over here on the left. Just go ahead and light it, and the book will appear next to the skeleton here after a second or two. Like a so. I sailed the seas for many years, but I've never experienced the true cruelty till I set foot within these walls. The Spanish soldiers met our punishment at their pleasure. I have seen many flogged for sideways glances, and my own fate was sealed by speaking out when they beat a boy no older than 10. I will take all they can, matey, out gladly, knowing that I have brought his freedom with my life. For as long as he is free to sail the seas, I shall never die. And that's going to be it for the main books. Now we are going to go into some of the more hidden commendations. So after you get to that fort, you're going to start sailing this direction. You'll see Barbosa's ship firing at the port. You're going to want to grab some cannonballs from down below and head upstairs. Alright, so once you head up the stairs, there's going to be one cannon that you're actually able to shoot. All the other ones won't let you interact with them, so it's pretty easy to figure out which one it is. There's also a cannonball crate here if you're low on cannonballs. Try to aim the cannon as best you can, and don't shoot your own boat, but shoot his. And eventually you should see a commendation pop up. This one seems to be a little bit more buggy to where it has a hard time popping up. But you should see a commendation for strike your colors pop up. Now the next book is going to be found in this little closing store. The rumors of the vast wealth stowed away in our treasury must have reached the ears of the pirates. What else could be drawing them here in such numbers? I pray the captain and his men are doing all in their power to keep it and us safe. Sadly, our illustration mayor isn't giving the same care to the valuables the townfolk have placed under his protection. Strolling around town with a key around his neck, any passing nav could take it, force the mayor to reveal the location of the precious belongings I despair. This is going to be found where Carlos is being dunked. There's going to be a key on that well. There's another book over here on me. A Pirate's Life for Me by Hugo Perez, age 6 3/4. My mama is always cursing the pirates and saying they are bad men with no souls. I don't think it's true. I think they just don't like rules and want to have fun. I think I would like to be a pirate. If I was in the Pirate League, I could go on adventures and find buried treasure and go to bed whenever I liked. I've been practicing burying treasure. I've even written a treasure map rhyme because all maps have to rhyme. Behind a courtyard you will find an X with loot, but it's hard to find. Does that rhyme? Alright, so once you head over around the path here, we got a mercado key, which goes to the mercado building. Back around here, you put the key inside the door. Come upstairs, you light the torch on fire. And basically you need to close this little wooden box here, and there'll be a note behind it. Wretched pirates, their songs echo through our town as they cart away our valuables to the full cavern they call a hideout, waiting for their captain. I am no sailor, but even I know the tremble name as Barbosa. Won't be long before his ship, the wicked wench, beats our walls. I have faith in Carlos to keep our treasury safe and his wife to do the same for Carlos. It's what the little coin we ourselves possess that I fear the most. When the wretches are distracted by the auction, light the lamp at the window, meet me on the dock, we'll find a safe spot, you, me, and our gold. So this is for one of the another commendations, but basically after you light that, you're going to head back down to the water in the auction area. There's going to be a rowboat with 2 skeletons. It's going to be a little awkward. Basically, you just sort of sit next to them. There's going to be a little ghost rowboat that spawn in, and basically you just follow them down the waterway. This part's pretty straightforward, so I'm just going to skip straight down to the very end of the waterway, and we will dig up the treasure. But there's a book along the way. The Wicked Winch has been haunting the waters off our coast. Barbosa is one of the most feared pirate captains to sail the seas, and his crew is a ragtag band of villains and thieves. There are worrying rumors that the pirates have set up a hideout sea cave not far from here. What are they planning? I've had the men preparing for attack for days, stockpiling weapons, ammunition, and enough shot to send the Wicked Winch to Davy Jones. I pray that we will have the strength to repel Barbosa and his crew of miscreants, but in my heart, I fear the worst. Now this is in the waterway right next to the skeletons that are all laying on the cannon, just so you guys know the area. It's pretty easy to spot while you're rowing behind the ghost, and the ghosts just sort of row on their own anyway, so it's not like you have to be like directly behind them. But basically, you'll get to the end, the ghost will be digging a spot here, so you gotta get your own shovel, dig up the box, hand it to the two skeletons, and then you'll get another commendation. This one is for delivering the town folk their treasure back. And he'll laugh at the end, and you'll get a commendation. The next book is going to be found on the castle area, so you just need to keep following Jack at this point. But the book is going to be at the very end. I spend my days and nights protecting the people of Isla Teresa from pirates. But today I overheard the captain argue with Mayor. I'm sure I heard a mention of treasury, and then they talked to turn to scoundrel Jack Sparrow. Why do I risk my life and limb every day to repel pirates for the mayor to keep one of them safe within our walls? The captain obviously shares my feelings, as the conversation ended abruptly when the captain announced that Jack Sparrow will be the death of us all. And there's only going to be one more book, so if you follow this little path here, it's going to be right near the end of this tall tale. Not sure how much of this I can take. Every time I hear shouting in the streets or bells ringing, my heart leaps into my mouth. Knowing that the likes of Barbosa, Captain Red, and Jack Sparrow are just offshore is terrifying. There isn't a moment of day when I am not thinking about the inevitable attack. The waiting is crushing me. Many have fled, but I don't have the money for passage, and even if I did, where would I go? This island is my home, but Lord help me, I don't want it to be my grave. And that is going to be it for all 10 books, and all hidden accommodations, which will get you these little ghost instruments. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.